I hear a couple instances from the crowd of why you think this is critically important? As the spirit moves you, holler out.
I just think it sets such a tone not only for success for the summer, but also how it's going to play out in the region, how a core member is going to take what they're seeing and hearing and doing to their own classroom, and how they're going to interact with their culture within their own school.
What other idea?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's such hard work over the summer, and make sure everybody stays productively engaged with it. It's really a challenge, but something that's
Perfect. And linking those two together is actually sort of how we think about culture, right? It's these ideas, the values and beliefs of a group of people that trickle down to how they act in the moment, whether it's in their regions, at their schools, when they're stressed. So it's up to us really to create this culture that pushes them to be productively engaged. Can I have somebody from Chicago take us through the first key point of this session?
Your school culture will either help or hinder your CNs and staff as they work toward our ultimate aims. It is your responsibility to create a culture that helps.
Yeah, the big thing here is if you don't create that, if we don't create that culture, a culture will create itself, and it will likely not be the one that's going to lead to aims, the ultimate aims of Institute. I'm thinking of like Lord of the Flies, the book I think it creates itself, right? This graphic should stick out to you from LC1. The thing that I want to point out, we've spent a lot talking about these aims, a lot about the visions of excellence, but notice at the bottom, the core values and culture, really where that stems from, is the bedrock of all of this. So all of these can be in place, but if we don't have the core values and culture at the bottom, it literally topples. The next thing to refresh your memory about this, the management framework, same thing applies. Setting that vision, checking the reality, taking action proactively and reactively. What we're doing today is just throwing culture into this. Can I have somebody from Phoenix take us to the second key point?
You must customize the vision for your school's culture.
Yep. And I think the big thing here is obviously customize. There's not a culture that exists for you to internalize. You have to make it. So I think it almost should be you bolded as well. You must customize this. But don't worry, we're going to get started with that today. Somebody from Chicago, the next key point.
You must take proactive action to make your vision your reality.
Thank you. So you create this vision, you can't just create it and let it sit. If you don't do anything to build it, it won't come to fruition. And then Phoenix, take us to the fourth, please.
You must take reactive action when the reality of your culture is not meeting your vision, particularly when there are breaches in the core values.
Perfect. And some of you might have thought we actually skipped checking reality. You are going to have some systems in place that seem sort of intuitive for checking reality, right? Conversations that you overhear mid-institute survey. But really, to be more strategic, a lot of checking for reality happens in the moment. When there's a breach in culture in a conversation that you hear as core members are walking to a session, things like that. So we're going to do the first part of what we're aiming to do today, which is setting that nascent vision, that developing vision. And we're going to do this in table teams with your table facilitator. What we're going to be doing then is creating a vision, and vision, again, like what does it look like, what does it sound like, so that it consistently models our core values. We're going to spend a heavy amount of time on that. What does it look like, what does it sound like if it's truly fostering a sense of partnership, trust, and respect among core members and staff at your school, and then looking like, sounding like when it's creating a welcoming environment for core members and staff of all backgrounds to productively engage on topics of diversity, community, and achievement. If you could actually pull out Handout 1 at this point, it's the only handout for this session. And before I turn it over to the table facilitators, I just want to punch that key point that it is up to you, up to us to set this vision. We're going to do it for 16 minutes right now. Table facilitators will give you time warnings when we switch to a different part of that vision of excellence.